comfortable. It's not a problem at all. So
Come
don't
sit,
even
sit.
worry.
Come sit.
Sorry, I
All
was
right.
just stunned for a moment. She's
So
gorgeous.
I
Jesus
have a
Christ.
few ways of, I guess, seeing, if that's the way you want to put it.
Hmm.
So I read the cards and tea leaves and palms. So it would be whatever would be your preference.
I don't know. What's the difference? What's the
Well,
tea leaves?
tea leaves, it's a very old practice. It's where I hand you a cup of tea and it's been brewed without any sort of straining or anything like that. So that the leaves are still in the bottom of the cup, like how you get bad coffee grounds.
Hmm.
And I ask you to drink as much of the tea as you care to. And then we swirl the remainder of the tea in the leaves and then toss out the tea, turn the cup over to let it drain. And then I look at the tea leaves that are remaining in the cup. And from that, it gives me pictures and images of what the portents are. For tarot cards, it's a standard deck of tarot, and they're like a playing card deck, except they have 22 extra cards that are called the major arcana, and those are special. Those have higher meanings and usually point to some higher purpose as well. And I do readings of that. Those tend to be a bit more in depth for me than the tea leaves and the palms. I'm not as skilled with, but I've been trying to learn. So that would be just looking at the lines in your palm and from that determining what I can about situations and things of that nature.
The tea leaves sounds interesting, but I might have to do the tarot cards. Let's do the cards.
Certainly, we can
The
do that.
cards
And
know
then maybe
all.
another time, if you want to do the tea leaves, we can venture a try at that as well.
I like that.
All right, so pardon me just a moment and let me get the cards out and shuffle real quick. What I'm going to do first is when I lay the cards down, I will ask you to cut the cards. And that's just like you would if you're playing poker or something. You're just going to cut the stack. And that basically sets your intent on the cards so that they know that they're tuning to your, I hate to say it another way, but to your frequency, so to speak. So
Yeah.
they know they're reading for you and not me or the gentleman here.
For the purposes of this exercise, I do not exist.
Well, that would just be a shame.
What do you mean?
Well, he's
Like
not
he
a
doesn't
looking fella.
exist. Well,
I'm just here for your security.
don't listen to like card reading, Sherman.
Oh, no, I'm gonna.
Don't even talk about it. I'll be pissed.
I won't. I promise.
Nervous, not gonna lie to you.
It's painless. Don't worry.
It's painless.
All right. Now, if you'll go ahead and cut those cards for me,
I'm gonna just in half.
as many as feels appropriate. Whatever feeling you get from it, that's the most important part.
Yes.
All right. And so, what I'm going to do is lay the cards out in a reading. I will tell you what each card represents. We will turn the card over and see what card it is. And then I'll explain what that means in context because it's very much dependent on the other cards and whether it is right side up facing me or upside down facing me. That can change the meaning, a mirror image of the meaning, so to speak. All right, so the first card I see here in the center, it is what they call the root card or the personification card. It's the card that is you. It's what you mean, essentially. So everything's going to be hinging on these. So in your case, what you got is the Seven of Cups. So cups, there's four cards in regard to tarot. In this deck, it's cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. Cups are associated with water, that is fluidity, that is a mercurial nature. So you may be someone who is given to bits of inspiration or sarcasm or anger or comes and goes. Even if you have a placid front, it can have those currents underneath. So it talks about imagination and conflicting desires sometimes. A way that a current can reroute and erode everything around it. It's a strength of desire for purpose that you can reroute others around you as well. So be careful of that erosion in that sort of consequence of pushing hard enough to make things change, but be careful of what also goes away in them changes. It also speaks of a sort of a fertility in mind and spirit, meaning that you're constantly thinking, always have thoughts going on in your head, almost voices that you can't stop. Even when you try to sleep, they're still going. And that makes you very creative and that makes you very productive, but it can also hamper you in terms of ever trying to relax or slow down. That may be problematic for you. It does work in your favor when things unexpectedly arise because it means you're quick thinking on your feet. I would say I'm going to venture a guess based on this being your personification card that you've had an uphill battle to get wherever it is that you are. You've kind of been almost an underdog, but through that push, that brain not stopping to think, or not stopping thinking rather, that it has pushed you through to your successes. So your focused ability on that seems to push, but also can be problematic if it comes time to step back. So that is what I see for you. And now we'll look at it in the context of what is around you as far as past and future and the things that cross you, meaning the obstacles that are in your way. All right, when I look at your past card, you have the Chariot. Now, that is one of the major arcane that we were talking about, the high power cards, but it's inverted. So, normally, the Chariot speaks about movement and momentum and forward progress, which would have been very much in keeping with the card that we just realized for you. Inverted, it speaks of the same energy, but more erratic and less channeled, sort of the wagging the dog, as it were. All of that, them thoughts that are going and not stopping, rather than being that single focus and direction, seem to be getting a little led astray, off the leash. So there might be something that is driving the impulse before the to think if it's wise to do, because typically chariot would would be countering movement and the wisdom in one swoop, but here it's inverted. So I'd be careful of anything that sounds like a good idea at the time because it doesn't seem to be working for you. All right, so for future, this is better.
Ooh.
I see the page of wands, and the page of wands is very good. Page would be like the jack. It's like the waxing and waning of the moon. He is bringing good for you and bringing good in a way that you maybe haven't seen. It seems to hit this particular page is a friendly, down to earth soul. Wands are, or staves, some decks call them staves. They're wood. They grow from the earth, so they're connected very much with the earth. And it's being grounded, socializing and opening yourself up, but being grounded. There's some big change coming for you that I don't know what exactly it is, but it's going to change your interactions with others in a very dramatic way. And it is going to let you ground yourself. Almost, I don't know if it makes sense to say it, a slow down, but that seems to be what it's going to be. No loss of heart, no loss of action, no loss of the doing. That's all still going to be there. But there's a slowdown in the process somehow. And that's going to keep you I think, a lot more comfortable in the future. It just feels like this is bringing something you need to get over whatever hump it's at that you're at right now, that distraction and unfocused energy has led to. So look for those changes that could be coming and don't write anything off just because it doesn't seem like it's where you think you're heading right now. It could well be. I'm not sure if you want the love reading in front of him or not, but I can do that.
Go for it.
All right. I told you there were four suits, and another one of them is swords. And they tend to be cards of action or defense or bad consequences. You have turned up the nine of swords in your love position. It's not the best possible card. I would have. It's worry, longing, misery, obsession, haunting ideas of the past. It's not healthy. It's making yourself your own enemy. It leads to nightmares, to suspicion of others, to insecurity about yourself. It is not a pleasant card, and it doesn't carry with it a lot of the positivity possibility that the other cards have shown in their own ways. This one's kind of dark, and I don't know if it speaks to personal loss or being near personal loss, but there's something here that it makes me very sad to read. And I hope whatever it is passes as it can, and you are able to get out from this dark cloud that seems to be attached to your heart.
Oh, good one.
Well, we can look at what crosses you, because oddly enough,
Ah,
that ain't it.
I need a. I was
We'll,
about to
we'll
like
do
say
what
like.
crosses you, and then we'll do a yes or no. How's that? All right. So, in what's crossing you, what is the obstacle in your life right now? It's the Six of Pentacles. So we're covering them all today. Pentacles are your air signs. They tend to be connected with spirit. I don't get the impression that you're a largely spiritual woman, but it does speak of a sharing nature. So you're looking to share something to resolve your current issue. I don't know if it is a debt, an entitlement, or you're feeling conflicted about rewarding someone for something they've done that you don't agree with, but you're being put in a position that your natural tendency to give, even if given is sarcasm, you're having to recognize something else. But it's not just you. You're not alone in seeing whatever that thing is, that someone who may appear on the surface to be fine, like that apple has a real shiny skin, but there's a worm inside. You're not the only one who knows and who sees. So do what you have to do, because that worm's going to come out. So don't fret, and don't blame yourself, and don't feel like everything weighs on your shoulders for it. Truth will out. It always does. I want you to think of a yes or no question. You don't have to tell me what it is. Just a yes or no question. And when I turn this final card, I'll tell you what that answer is according to the cards.
I just have to think it.
Take your time, and then you just ruminate on it, and you let me know when you're ready.
Yes or no question. Got it.
Let me flip this card. Yes, but proceed with caution. This is a card. What you got was the Five of Swords. Again, we got it reversed.
Mm.
It is excessive force, slander, malicious person or group. It is not beyond your means, but be cautious about it. Be mindful. But yes,
Interesting. I feel like the tea leaves would have been. They could have been pretty pictures. You said pictures. Thank you. That's a lot.
it can be.
You want to make it fair?
What do you mean?
I know that about you.
Are you gonna have her read your cards?
Fuck it. Sure.
Okay, swap your seats. Now you can sit comfortably in your chair. Sherman, I'm gonna grab a snack.
I'm scared I'm gonna break it though.
Pick up the cards as many times as feels right to you. And when you're satisfied with that, just hand them on back.
So how many cards?
No, the whole deck is going to be, you're just going to cut it like you would for poker, shuffle, whatever.
Well, poker I'd usually cheat.
Well, you can try, but you're only cheating yourself.
I don't intend to. Claudia sat through it. I guess I have to.
It's pretty painless.
There you go.
All right, let's take a look here. The first card I'm going to turn over, just like I did for Claudia, is going to be the card that represents you.
Alright.
Oh my. All right.
Music to my ears, that.
We talked about the major arcane being the higher cards of the deck. You got the sun. Now, I don't want your ego to get too big. Not everything
Yeah,
does revolve
please.
around you, but it
Nope,
does
it sure does.
speak of triumph and success and security. Unfortunately, as we all know, too much time in the sun can be hurtful. So please try to keep your radiance in check around folks so you don't cause no one to burn.
Got it. Don't fly too close to it.
That's
The-
crazy.
There are other symbolic natures of the sun, such as wonder, maybe even whimsical, childlike nature. I would not have guessed that, but that's what the card is telling me. It speaks of the sun consumes, if that makes sense. So it's enjoying and taking things in. Oh boy, we'll just say we'll come back to that, because I think we'll come
What
back
do you
to
think?
that.
Good virility, all of that kind of stuff. Expert
Masculine
stamina.
sexual energy.
Damn right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's just the first card. It can get so much worse.
Yeah, that's great. Here we go.
Let's take a look at your past. Oh, so you remember last time around we got that Five of Swords reversed? It's back.
Son of a bitch.
So here we go again. Past concern and gossip and slander. Perhaps a threatening situation. Maybe your past was used against you or you was used against someone else in your past. And that's sort of distorted your relationships with the people in the present because you're still holding on to whatever that situation was that's sort of a dark spiral, if that makes sense. I don't read that it was your intent, but it seems that that was the way things went, and you've since then, in a bizarre sort of contradiction, you have sought protection in numbers without fully trusting them numbers.
Huh.
All right. So let's take a look at the future. Oh, so you got another major arcane here. You got the judgment card. Judgment isn't judgment in the sense of you're handing it out and you're making decisions about people and things like that. That's not what judgment generally lines up to. It's rebirth and changing yourself, rediscovering, reimagining, repurposing yourself, but with a strict confine to it that you have an ethics or a morality or a cricket on your shoulder that is telling you, yes, you can, but you're not going to do this because that ain't right. And somehow you got a conscience guide that is keeping you on track as you are going to be going into this rediscovery of who you are and this new lifestyle personality that you're going to be evolving into. So there's great change in your future as signified by the power of the card. But it also is coming with some more rigid structure than maybe you're used to living with. We can take a look at what is, well, did you want a love? I gave her the option.
Yep,
I will
go
give you
for
the
it.
option as well. A
Mhm.
love reading. All right. Oh, Lord.
That's bad, isn't it?
No,
I knew it. I'm gonna
it
keep
is.
being Sherman bitchless.
It's not bad.
Fuck.
It's gonna sound bad, and the card is gonna look bad. But let me explain. That is a terrible way for me to start this. But
Come on.
Give it to
so you
him
got the death
straight.
card,
Oh,
all right. But it is in keeping with the theme.
Uh
So
huh.
so bear with me. Death again is not death in a literal sense. Death is a change of state. So you're becoming something else. You're transforming into something else. So death is a natural end to the life cycle, right?
To, for example, a toxic sensation of relationships. Oh, understanding of them.
It could very well be, but that might harken back
Son
to
of a
that
bitch.
last card we just talked about, that maybe the reason you's in such bad relationships
Hmm.
was because you's letting yourself be. And if you follow that more rigid guideline that yourself hear in your own head and put to the side because of your childlike sunshine tendencies, you can put an end to that cycle. You can have a new beginning, but the old cycle has to die first.
Hey, you weren't a lawman in New York, were you?
Me?
Uh,
Why?
this is just oddly specific.
I just read what the cards give me.
Hmm.
Death changes us, be it our own, which is an obvious natural end, be it the death of someone we care about, someone we hate, or the death of an idea. It radically changes us, and you need to let something die. Prune that tree to get rid of the dead weight and the dead branches to make the
Hmm.
core stronger. And you will find abundant fruit when you do that. I will also give you the offer of a yes or no question if you would care to think of one.
Go for it.
Oh, you already have one in mind? All right, well, let's see. You have received another major arcane. You have the priestess. Um, priestess is filled with wisdom and insight and cleverness. She is of a voracious mind and she is autistic. She is this force of positivity and becoming. So the answer is a very, very positive yes, and a wholehearted yes to the whole is what you want to be thinking for that. It seems to be a very positive step for you, and one that I would say don't go in without any safety attached, but it's certainly a yes.
There you go.
That's some fucking witchcraft. Okay.
Not witchcraft. I don't practice the craft. Would that I could, but I don't have that shine.
It's fucking crazy.
She dead on you as well, Claudia.
Yeah, I told you that.
What the fuck?
It's I don't know. Just the idea that a complete stranger literally told me my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just read what the cards tell me.
The cards know all.
I have been known to put my faith in them.
Yeah. I saw your poster and I kind of having one of those days where it was like, what do I do? I went to the pin board like I always do and I saw your poster and I was like, I can't decide. Maybe something else can, or at least fucking, I guess, help me. So I thank you
You're
for that.
Yeah, thank you. How much do we owe you?
Yes.
I haven't really figured out what to ask for. I just have been asking for donations.
Yeah. You can have what's in my pocket.
Whatever people feel worth it. And
There you go,
There
my
you
dear.
go. That's all I have in my pocket.
my lord, that is so generous.
It is our pleasure. Thank you for you're fucking me up.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
Is,
no,
is
in the
that
best
a
way.
bad
No, it's
time
good.
to then ask you to tell your friends?
Oh, I will. No, I will absolutely.
But I'm doing my best, doing my best.